In the world of professional wrestling, the line between reality and fiction is often blurred. While many rivalries are purely for entertainment purposes, there are some that extend beyond the scripted drama and into real life. These feuds can be fueled by jealousy, personal conflicts, or just simply incompatible personalities. Whatever the reason may be, the animosity between these wrestlers is palpable, both in and out of the ring. Due to many wrestlers still believing in the principles of kayfabe, a lot of real-life grudges don't always get spoken about or addressed. After all, they want the audience to still maintain the belief that what they're watching is real, so there's no need to demystify it by revealing secrets. However, there will be a breaking point and the hate will show. So let's take a look at wrestlers who would love nothing more than to smash at each other's face for real. First on our list is Hurricane Helms and Shawn Michaels. Hurricane Helms and Shawn Michaels have had separate careers in WWE. Helms certainly had some memorable moments with his superhero gimmick and teamwork with The Rock, but he never created the title or fanfare that turned Heartbreak Kid into a spectacle. Helms certainly had some memorable moments with his superhero gimmick and teamwork with The Rock, but he never created the title or fanfare that turned Heartbreak Kid into a spectacle, a main event, an icon. I've never done it before. Nevertheless, Helms did not think that HBK was quite as good as he made himself out to be, tweeting out in 2011, "Flair got over people that absolutely sucked. Shawn hadn't gotten over anyone but himself in the last decade." The fans had problems with Helms' comments and asked him why he chose to come at Michaels so much. Helms replied that HBK had hurt his career just because he could do it, and Michaels liked to lie to his own interests. In 2019, Helms said on the 411 Wrestling Interviews podcast that he no longer has any issues with Michaels as they both worked for WWE behind the scenes and were good friends. Next on our list is Bret Hart and Goldberg. Bret Hart's history with another bold, bearded wrestler in simple black trunks. Fans would expect him and Goldberg to make some magic in wrestling. However, when Hart fought Goldberg at Starrcade in 1999, he suffered a searing concussion from a powerful kick from Goldberg, his opponent. Unfortunately, this concussion combined with other similar injuries sustained by Hart forced him to stay out of the ring and retire indefinitely. During the episode, Steve Austin's Broken Skull sessions, Hart revealed that he spoke to Goldberg before the match and asked him not to do anything dangerous in the ring. For me, Goldberg was one of the most unprofessional wrestlers to ever exist in this business, he said. To get Goldberg into the Hall of Fame, the guy would hurt everyone he worked with. Maybe you should fight a real gorilla. Goldberg addressed Hart's comments in an interview with Inside the Ropes, emphasizing the stray kick was an accident, and if he had wanted to hurt his opponent for real, Hart wouldn't be able to talk about it. Next is CM Punk and Ryback. CM Punk has faced many opponents during his 434 days WWE Championship reign. After getting in the ring with Daniel Bryan, Chris Jericho, and The Rock, no one thought it would be his fights against Ryback that would raise the eyebrows. Appearing on Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast, Punk got into Ryback, stating how working with the former Skip Sherfield took decades off his life. "I'm already beat up and I have to wrestle steroid guy, and is very, I call it like I see it," Punk said. "He's very hurty, sometimes deliberate. There was one time he kicked me in the stomach as hard as he could and he broke my ribs right at the tail end, and I never got an apology for that." Ryback responded by criticizing Punk on social media. He said on Ryback TV that Punk's comments about him were inaccurate and hurt him professionally. Ryback also tweeted "Karma rules" after Punk announced he would undergo surgery the week he won the AEW World Championship. It appears that these two might not have dinner with each other anytime soon in the future. Next on the list is CM Punk and Triple H. CM Punk wasn't interested in fighting with the game, and not only did he despise the backstage politics of the WWE, but he also wasn't keen on wrestling Triple H ever again. After Punk left WWE in 2014, he talked about how he had suffered in the podcast all because of Triple H's hand. When Vince McMahon suggested Punk to wrestle the game at WrestleMania 30, Punk looked at Triple H and said, "With all due respect, I do not need to wrestle you." Appearing on the Steve Austin show, Triple H responded to Punk's comments, denying he had any knowledge of any issues between the two. While he regretted how the situation with Punk and WWE turned out, he criticized Punk for not communicating it when there was a problem. Moving on, next on the list is Hulk Hogan and Bret Hart. Hulk Hogan may have been the face of professional wrestling in the 80s, but the Hulkster earned a reputation as one of the causes of behind-the-scenes politics. There was a lot of talk about his legendary off-screen feuds due to his penchant for running his own business. One person who had a very low opinion of Hulk Hogan was Bret Hart. Hart never missed a beat when talking about Hogan and insulting him whenever he got the chance. Rumor has it that their first fight began after Hogan refused to invite Hart to WrestleMania 9. Even though Hart was about to be included in Canada's Hall of Fame in 2021, he couldn't help but send one last goodbye short to his rival. I think if you look at wrestling back in the Hulk Hogan show era, Hart told the Calgary Sun, he was 6'8" and he was one out of 3 wrestlers. He didn't know the difference between a helmet and a headlight. He knew very little. He knew how to handle a clothesline and probably knew how to land body shots. The grudge between Hart and Hogan lasted for decades and extended beyond Hart's highly publicized feud with Shawn Michaels. When someone talks about WCW, 2 of the names come up in most conversations are Ric Flair and Scott Steiner. Flair was part of the main event scene for most of his WCW career, while Steiner was a tag specialist until he reached the top and defeated Booker T for the WCW World Championship in Mayhem 2000. Although he worked in the same company for so long, Steiner was neither a fan nor a friend of Flair. Ann Anderson said on his ARN podcast that problems between the 2 wrestlers began in 1991. Steiner reportedly believed that Flair intentionally gave a bad performance because he didn't want to put him down. After that, Steiner had no time to be involved with Flair. The feud finally came to a head in 2000 when Steiner cut a promo for Flair on an episode of Nitro. However, Steiner still harbors a grudge against Rich Flair, and time did not heal the wounds. When old Rich Flair returned to the ring, in typical Big Papa Pump fashion, he didn't hold back and exclaimed, "That's not my old friend. I would have bitten him. I would destroy him." Yes, everyone wants to see him get bitten. In conclusion, the world of professional wrestling is full of drama, both scripted and real. The feuds and rivalries between these wrestlers who hate each other in real life add an extra layer of excitement to their matches, keeping fans invested in their every move. While some of these relationships may never be repaired, they serve as a reminder that even the toughest competitors can have personal conflicts that extend beyond the ring. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world of wrestling rivalries, and be sure to tune in next time for more gripping content. Stay tuned and stay subscribed for more exclusive content. See you next time.